Hello, thanks for downloading the avatar assets for Furality Aqua. I am Craig, and I'll be guiding you through the process of adding them to your avatar and customizing them to your preference. Let's go through the requirements first. It's really possible that you already know this, but still, first you're going to need the currently supported Unity version for uploading VRChat content. You can find more about this in the VRChat's documentation. The version they use might change from time to time, so it's good to keep an eye on it. Second, you need a VRChat avatar because, well, we're gonna modify your avatar to have some Luma aspect to it. And third, you need the latest VRChat SDK. The assets use the Fizz bones for SDK 3 and Dynamic bones for SDK 2. So you need an SDK that supports them. So going for the latest one is always a good option. If you have an avatar 3.0, you're just gonna need the SDK 3. If you have an avatar that still uses the SDK 2, you're going to need the Dynamic Bones assets, which are not included with this download. And last but not the least, you're going to need the Furality Aqua avatar assets, which we'll be talking about in this tutorial. So let's see how they look like. To find the sample scene, once you added the SDK and imported the Furality assets pack, we're going to go to the Furality folder, Furality Aqua, Examples, and the Fins sample scene. There we go. So here you'll find all the available prefabs that you can attach to your avatar, and of course an example or a demonstration about how you can use them. There are three different designs. These are like some sort of holographic limbs, holographic swimming tools. And they come from an emitter that uses the Luma energy. There are three designs and one additional one in case you want to create your own design. We'll talk about this later. This is the public avatar asset pack. There's an expanded set included with the first class pass and above for Furality attendees. So how can we find these assets, or how can we find these prefabs to attach to your own avatar? You'll find them in Furality Aqua, Avatar Assets, Fins, and you'll find one folder per each set. So what's the difference between each set? Well, it's the base. Set A includes a base that has a flat base. It's like an emitter that has a flat base. It fits most shapes, and it's like a multi-purpose one. Set B includes an emitter that is specialized for curved shapes, so it's great for the shoulder or perhaps a head. Set C includes a shape that is specialized for cylindrical objects. It's good for your wrists or for your legs. They are in different shapes, so you can be creative about where to put yours. Set D is for those who want to get a bit more creative, perhaps, or already have their own ideas about how the emitters are going to look like, or just prefer to opt out of them and just use the holograms. That's an option. And each one is going to have its own set. Once you open a set, you'll find the prefabs ready to be attached to your avatar. Let's use the sample model as an avatar would be. So in any avatar you have for Unity and VRChat, you'll be able to find it in the Hierarchy tab, and it's going to have an armature. And the armature is going to have all the bones that modify and control the avatar. You have to attach these assets to your bones so they can move with them. Let's try the head, for example. The head is under hips, spine, chest, and the neck. So we finally have the head, and you just need to drag and drop on the head. So here's the thing, it needs some adjustment, but the good thing about this is this asset will move in synchronize with your head. It's because we just attached it to it. We just need to do some tweaking on the scale, perhaps on the movement. I'm just going to move it across the local axis. Maybe it's too big. Okay. So let's see, maybe a bit further up. So we have our asset here, and it's attached. Make sure that if you have any dynamic bone or avatar face bone affecting your head bone, you might need to add this as an exception so it doesn't get all wobbly. I don't like the position of the hologram, but I like the position of the solid, of the emitter. You can just go to armature of the hologram, and you can just perhaps rotate it, move it, and also scale it down. So you can have your emitter in a comfortable position while also having control over where the ornament is going to be. Okay, what else? Oh, now that we have it attached, we need to know how to customize it. So to customize it, you might need to select the mesh, and you'll find the shader it's working with or the material it's working with. But if you want to find it in the project explorer, you'll find it under Furality, Furality Aqua, Avatar Assets, Fins, Dependencies, and Materials. These are all the materials we're going to use. Actually, there are just going to be three. We have one material for the overall holograms, one material for the do-it-yourself hologram, and one material for the emitters. So how do we customize it? You might notice this, but we aren't using the standard shader. We're using the Furality Aqua shader. So we're not gonna go in depth about how to use the Aqua shader, but we're gonna see just enough for us to have control about how it looks like. Furality Aqua shader has 4 different menus: main settings, lighting settings, Luma glow settings, and effect settings. Right now, let's focus either on Luma glow settings or main settings. They both have the parameter we're looking for, which is the emission. The emission, as you can see, has a very specific color. We can just change it around to the color of our preference. Let's go with red. Now that we have red, there's another parameter we need to change. For Furality Aqua, we have this new feature. You'll find it under the effect settings, called Luma Aura. Luma Aura, I suggest that you use the Aqua shader for all of your avatar, if you can, because your avatar will have its own aura. I cannot spoil what it does, but what I can tell you is that you might want to have all the aura colors across all your avatar shaders in the same color, because it's gonna be cool. So it's important to try to be consistent with the colors we use. So for the emitters, we're gonna go to the solid, which is also in the same folder, and we can of course change the emission color as well for something reddish. And as you can see, it's not completely red. There's something else going on here, and that is the Luma flow. The Luma flow is like some sort of energy that comes from the crystals, and it's being used to create these holograms to help you swim. And we can change the color here. It's not going to be exact because it needs to have a bit of variety. It's supposed to be energy. And last but not least, the aura color. So we finally have the fins in the color we want. And well, before we finish this up, we need to see how to make your own design. So the customizable fin design uses a texture for this. You'll find it under the dependencies folder, because instead of going to materials, you're going to go to textures. You'll find this what was the name of it? Hologram DIY. It's a PSD file, so you can open it in Photoshop or any other program that opens PSD files. You can just go and show in Explorer, and you'll find it there. You'll be able to change it, and once you have your texture, you just save it as the same file, the same file extension. It will be overwritten and it will be reloaded or updated, and you will see your new design here. Make sure to override it. Make sure to substitute this old file with the new one you're gonna make. Otherwise, it's not gonna load. And you don't need to work with transparency or alpha channels. As you can see, this is just a black and white texture. So there's no need to get specific with the transparency and the alpha channels. Just black and white. You'll be able to create your own design, and you'll be able to attach it to your avatar in the same way. And that will be the end of it. So I hope this tutorial is helpful to you. I hope you have a fun time customizing your avatar. And I hope to see you in Furality Aqua.